Hello, welcome to Stretch and Relax, or of course this could be used for yoga too. But what I would like to do in this combination is a little bit of attention into self-care. Okay, so I just made a longer video of self-care that kind of went into the whole body, and I realized I wanted to also make a shorter variation. And so it's a little bit self-care and de-stress. And so the area I want to focus into is up here a lot. Okay, so the neck and the shoulders, the upper body, of course the breath awareness. And so I have a scarf and I have comfort for seat. Now at the end, then it'll move into a hip stretch. Okay, so we'll have one wonderful leg stretch in the end where we do the small pigeon pose and kind of stretch more deeply into the outer hip. So that will be there too, but not a lot of legs. And so we're going to be in seated or something like this, whatever you're comfortable in, for a little while in the beginning. And I want you to be comfortable. So if you need to kind of stretch your legs out before you join this video, take a moment to do that. So I just did in my last video. So now mine are ready to go. So take a moment to do that first if you're not comfortable. But what I have is my pillow, and I have the scarf for 1 or 2 stretches into the upper body. And then I'm also going to bring in, so you don't have to, this is just up to you, and you could have it next time if you want to, is I have a little bit of lavender. So I'm going to use the lavender to help a little de-stressing. It's also good for headaches. It's a sweet little essential oil to have around. I've noticed a lot more people tend to have it nowadays, or it's always suggested. So lavender is sweet. I also have a little lotion because I want to massage into the neck, and so that's nice to have the lotion in order to help with that. Okay? So yeah, here we go. So take a comfortable seat. And what I think I'll first do is reach out and just take that lavender right away so I can bring that scent into what I'm doing. Nice. And so reaching your arms out like this, we'll do a little upper body shoulder movement first. Okay? So the moves that you're familiar with if you've been hanging out with me. So hands are back, and you're going to inhale, reach for the sky. Maybe hold your breath a moment there at the top, stretching, and then exhale it down, maybe back a little. Okay. Inhale, sweeping up, sunrise it up. Exhale it down. And that deep breath will give you a chance to take in the scent of lavender a little more deeply into your system. Now we're going to open the heart. So your hands come to your shoulders or your chest. And you're going to inhale, open up, and then exhale, press and open between the shoulder blades. 2 more of those, really sweet and slow. Inhaling and exhaling as you go. I'm going to do one more time. I kind of lost count. That's funny. Yeah, I think this was one extra one, but why not? Nice. And then centering it out. So now those shoulders are a little more loose, and it connects up into the neck. So I'm going to reach out and just have a little bit of lotion and use that to help massage my neck. And so I kind of rub it in, and you take a moment to kind of work into that space. Deep breath. Let your fingers dig in a little bit. How are your legs? Do you need to shake them out? I think mine are okay for a little bit longer because I want to move into the neck rolls here. Your legs can be however you want them to be. Let your hands relax into your lap. Maybe palms are turned up. Your head drops down to your chest. Deep breath here. Let the weight of your head drop down. When your breath is ready, you're going to inhale and roll it up to one shoulder, lifting up. And exhale, roll it down. Inhale up to the second side. Exhale, rolling it down. To each side again. Inhale up. Exhale it down. Follow your breath, rolling out. and then roll it up the center. I promise we'll come back to more neck rolls. Okay. What I'm going to suggest, and you don't have to if you're happy here, but you're going to have your legs in a different position now. Now I'm going to bring mine out like this and reach my arms out like that. And let the head tip to one side. You feel that reach, and it might extend down the shoulder into the arm a little bit. And now move it around a little bit on that side. Take a deep breath there. Good. Staying on that side, your hand comes down solid to the ground, and you sweep your arm over. Let the head just kind of tip and relax into it. Deep breath. Now keeping your head tipping like that, you're going to let your arm come out of it, and your head's still tipping. And then the arm slowly guides you back up. That work out okay? And then tip your head to the other side. And right there, just kind of move it around a touch. Deep breath. Good, and then up and over to that side, joining that little side bend. Move your head slightly. So now keeping your head tipping, you're going to let the arm come out of it, stretching that, and then slowly guiding it back up. And since our legs are like this, I'm going to take a moment to do a few windshield wipers just to kind of keep the legs from tightening up. So side to side, inhale and exhale. And this one, I love it. It goes all the way up the spine. And you can turn your head the other way. Center it out. So I want to do a little combination of a knee hug that will open into your upper middle back, and then a chest opener. So I'm going to reach out for my scarf and put it behind me, so it's all ready for the chest opener. So it's hanging out there. So the knee hug is where you have your legs like this. You can end up practicing it in different ways. Some people do knees closer, sometimes it's real wide. Everyone looks a little different in the knee hug of their choice. You can also layer a pillow in here if your head or neck are uncomfortable. But this is one of the few times where I ask you to really curl your spine. Deep breath. So you let the upper middle back open really wide, and you take a deep breath there. Maybe move your head just slightly around if it's in the right spot to do that. I'm going to play with this one a little bit. If you peek my way, I'm going to then cross here. I'll turn towards you to show this. I'm going to cross and hook the hands like this and drop the head through. Release that, come up out of it. Nice. Okay, so now I want to open the chest. Your legs can be however you want. I feel like I need a little cross leg right now. And I reach back for 2 spots on my scarf. And I'm holding it with my hands. Your hands could be wide or close. It's why you have the scarf. You can have them wherever you want. And you roll the shoulders back and down. And maybe lift up a touch. Okay. And then take a deep breath into your chest area, into your shoulders. Releasing that, setting it aside. And I always love combining that back opener, chest opener, with a little twist. So I'm bringing my legs back to this and sitting as tall as I can. In fact, I'm going to reach out and use my pillow. I'm going to do that because when you're in your twist, really want your spine to be lifted and a little bit shifted forward. You may not need the pillow for that, but you want to think on that lifted. And then just hook a hand, or you can end up doing your feet closer and hooking an elbow, but I'm kind of suggesting hand right now. This one back. Press your body tall and just twisting, lifted heart. Deep breath here. And then you can slowly turn your neck. So you turn to the front, and then slowly turn to the back. And then one more time, front, and then to back. And then unwind. Cool. Sitting tall, you take it to the other side. Keeping that twist, you can turn slowly and look to the front, and then turn and look to the back. One more time, inhale, and exhale. And then unwind. Good. All right, one more thing for the upper body. So I'm going to set my position up in my most comfortable position. My legs crossed feel pretty good right now. So I'm going to take my hands back and go into a side bend. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale over to one side, reaching long like this. Okay. Now my hand is going to come behind my head and gently press the back of your head into your hand and draw your elbows slightly back. Try not to be too low with this one. This one's more lifted and lengthening, drawing back. Deep breath here. And then slowly come out. We're going to go back to that side. We're not quite done with it. So lift up and over, side bend. And now curl and sweep. So it's like this. Curl it forward. When your inhale comes, you inhale and open it back. And then exhale, curl it forward. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, center yourself out. And then we'll check out the other side. So you're side bending this direction, maybe not too deep on this one. And your hand comes behind your head. And you gently kind of move back into that hand. Draw your elbow back. Lengthen, deep breath. Good. Ease out of this, and we're going to go back to that side. So inhale up, exhale over. Let me teach this a little bit better on this side. You're going to inhale here, exhale, then the curl. That will help. Inhale, sweep it on open. Exhale, curl through. Inhale, open it up. And then exhale, center out. So now the shoulders really awake, really alive, right up in here. Okay, we're going to come down to our legs now. So I'm going to use my pillow. I like to use my extra padding for my hip stretch that I'm going to teach. You may or may not. I'm going to start with butterfly for a moment and just open into the inner thigh or outer thigh, whatever happened for you. Lifting up and forward. Good. Now the figure four can replace this next stretch anytime you want if you prefer the figure four. So I'm going to take my legs to one direction like this. This is actually my tighter side. And I'm definitely, for me, I'm going to take this pillow and tuck it in. It doesn't mean you need it. But I notice that I'm always a little off like that, and it kind of hurts my spine if I'm not more balanced. And I'd love you to see if you can be really lifted and balanced. Let me say a couple more things. This shin right here, this line right here, you want that to be a straight line in line with the front of your imaginary mat if you don't have a yoga mat, or just that straight line lining up right there. Does that make sense? A little flex of the foot might help. And you sit tall, and you take your stretch out over. So if you start with a flex foot, I want you to feel that for a moment. And just kind of carefully move down and notice what you feel. This is where I'm getting it. Okay, that's kind of the idea I'm going for. So again, if you prefer a figure four to replace this one, you go for that instead. take some time. And this has been called the small pigeon because it's kind of a different variation, a smaller variation on the pigeon pose in yoga. I don't think it exactly means that it's an easier or a less deep stretch. I think it's an easier one maybe to get into than the full pigeon pose. And if your body allows, and if you want, you could come down further and rest on that leg. You could fold yourself right to the ground, but as long as you do it slowly and with care, so you're making sure that's right for your body right now. We didn't do a lot of warm-up into this one, so check it out with care. I have the foot flexed. I was going to say you could also then relax it if you want to kind of experiment with that, the more relaxed foot there. The flexed foot definitely is important if you have little knee issues going on and you want to protect through that knee, stabilize it. You want to flex your foot. And then your breath is so key, that lift of the inhale, extending, the exhale, relaxing you in. The practice of letting go into that stretch. And I'm going to ease on up off of that leg and come to the middle and feel the butterfly for a moment. Bound angle pose in yoga. Notice if there's a difference, if that leg releases more easily. And then if you're ready, switch to your second side. So I switch the pillow for me. You know where you're going, but I would love it if you take a moment. So self-care, just noticing, can you get the tall posture? And then when you move down into it, can you follow your breathing to go into your stretch? And so for this stretch, I do know from practice that I can bow all the way down. My head can be resting, and that can be a really good stretch. But I just got here. And so I would rather really slowly kind of ease into it with my breath connection. Learning that patience. Life doesn't offer us that chance to be slow like that very often. And so let's take advantage of how useful it is when you stretch. Deciding in all your different bodies, all your different ways, what is right for you. I'm going to relax my foot a little bit, see how that feels. Rising and falling. What do you think? Are you finished with that side? Deciding on your own, with your own body. I'm going to lift us up. And the last little piece is going to be back to seated and back to a little neck rolling, just to kind of finish up with that, just a little more. So setting yourself up in the most comfortable position. And I'm going to reach out and get a little lotion again. And take a moment. And so a really nice thing to have on hand, more than lotion sometimes, is arnica. So I sometimes use an arnica lotion or oil. They're both pretty cool. And just on a regular basis, I like rubbing it into my neck or other areas in your body where you have sore muscles. So you might, if you don't know about arnica, just do a little quick research on that. And of course, there's other really cool things that you can use for muscle release, whatever works for you. Tall seat, shifting back into that imaginary wall. So yes, having a tall posture. But then letting your head relax down. Maybe your shoulders follow a little bit. And begin to roll first shoulder to shoulder, inhaling up, exhaling it down. Inhale, roll it up. Exhale it down. Continue, follow your breath, please. Or just breathe softly through the neck rolls. You don't have to feel like your breath has to be any particular place. Just let your breath complement. Now, if you like, you can move this roll into a full circle. So it's like you're using the tip of your nose to paint a circle in front of you. And you'd inhale up and exhale around. And just moving in one direction. One more time or two more times, whatever you feel you need. And then I'm going to head the other direction, a full circle the other way. Deep breath as you go. And then your head relaxes down the center when you are done, because you could be rolling as much as you want. But bring your head up, and thank you so much for hanging out with me and trying that out. It was kind of weird right in the middle. Someone was knocking at my door really loud, which is weird because no one does that very often right now. I was like, what? But anyway, thank you so much, and namaste to you all, or thank you very much.